LA closed down, I want to say it was March 19th. I texted my coaching friends who have like a 10-yard pool in their backyard. I was like, oh, this will be 2 weeks. It'll be fine. This is just temporary. It definitely started to be a little more, okay, this is for the long term. I remember coming home one day after practice, and they had been showing clips from 2008 and 2012 Olympics at the pool, and so it kind of hit me for the first time. I was like, what if Tokyo doesn't happen? And I just remember coming home and just crying. I was like, Daniel, just what if it doesn't happen?
It's heartbreaking and terrible to watch her go through this. It's like a lifelong dream, something she's been thinking about since she was like 10 years old. I'm sitting here and I want it so desperately for her, but on the other hand, she's not just a swimmer. She's so talented in so many other ways and does so many other things.
Honestly, I can't really imagine going through that without Daniel. Some days I'd just be like, I don't want to do this. Having someone to train with when we'd go running was really useful. It was awesome.
That uncertainty that brought out definitely like early on in COVID, like arguments and stuff between us. So there were like some tough time in it where we really had to kind of like grow as a couple too. So it was like a moment of reckoning that we definitely like struggled through. But then coming out of that, we know that we can also like argue and have these like productive conversations, and it's going to be okay.
They officially announced it early July. Here are the relay teams. Let's start on logistics. Walking through the village and seeing everyone's flags, seeing everyone in their team uniforms and hearing different languages, that's when it really hit me. It was like, this is real and we're here. this moment where I walked out on deck right before our relay, and I just like could just feel how supported I was. It was a powerful moment. Like I just felt that, and I was just grinning like an idiot. I don't think I could have done it without Daniel.
Well, we first met in August of 2019. I play guitar and she sings. We both were serving on our worship team at church. We just talked a few times. We both played a Friday night service for one of our church's functions. She sang and I played guitar, and I had to clean up all my stuff afterwards. And I cleaned up all my stuff and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ask her
out. We went on lots of dates in the beginning.
In December, school wrapped up, and so we had lots of free time to hang out and go on dates and spend time together. And good thing, because
who knew 2020 was gonna happen? When the shutdown happened, they pulled me out of orientation early to get thrown onto the COVID floor. So like baptized by fire into the world of nursing, in addition to now our relationship. Now we go from you think you like each other to he's the only person that you can be around. I am in school full-time to be a nurse practitioner. I'm also a brand new nurse and was thrown into a scenario where the only patient I saw every single day had COVID and they were inmates. And it was like, this is not what I signed up for. And also, here's this new relationship. And also, if you think you might need some time to figure all that out, you don't have any time. The level of trauma that comes from the things that we saw and the things that we were a part of. We were having to make phone calls to the correctional facility to have the correctional facility tell the families that they died from COVID. We had to call the warden, and the warden has to be the one to decide whether or not they can change their code status to do not resuscitate or full code status. They almost all died in a really traumatic and awful way by themselves. I was hard on our relationship. We had a moment where we were both kind of like, I don't know if this is going to work or not. And he left. I think it just accelerated our relationship to get through all of the hard stuff really early. Is this my partner for life? Is this not my partner for life? And there's all these things in the middle that make you decide whether or not that is your person.
By February, I knew I wanted to ask her to marry me. I didn't anticipate that I was going to ask her to marry me in July of the same year, though. So the proposal didn't go exactly how I planned it to be because I was nervous. So I was like, I'm going to play guitar. And after I've played the songs we're gonna do, I'm gonna like segue into the last chorus of Love Story. It didn't go quite how I planned. I started nervously staring off into the trees while I was playing guitar. Finally managed to start and sing the chorus. And then I put the guitar down, hopped down on one knee and asked her to marry me. And she said yes. It did not go how I expected it to, but it was still good, I think.
In the grand scheme of things, like what did COVID do for our relationship? It accelerated it and
Moved everything up.
COVID helped our relationship.
It enabled.
Yeah, it was like the fertilizer of our relationship.
We flew into Albuquerque to stay with my family, and the world just shut down. We just kind of watched as everything closed. But it was March, and we were like, oh, our wedding's in June. Plenty of time. Everyone's saying, stay home for 2 weeks, we'll nip this in the bud. It became clearer and clearer. This is gonna be life-shattering in a way that we can't even imagine yet. And so we canceled our in-person wedding. I was never someone who dreamed of having a wedding. I really care about our relationship, and it was a wonderful opportunity to get a whole lot of people we love to have a lovely moment. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of shattering in a way that I did not expect.
tried to think about, would we be okay with still getting married? And we were like, all we need is someone who's ordained.
And a couple witnesses.
And a couple witnesses, and we can just get married.
It was at that time in the pandemic when everyone was figuring out Zoom. And we were just like, what if we held it on Zoom? And then what if we get to have like a miniaturized wedding experience, but through the computer? What if we still have all of these kind of iconic wedding moments, but put it on here and let it be kind of a immersive experience for everybody to have from their couch?
We are theater people, and we know theater people, so we took all of our collective knowledge and resources and we stage managed it.
We kept it on the same day. We had the wedding. We hit go on the Zoom button and everyone came.
Yeah.
This was a Zoom call with like 200 and something computers, and everyone showed up and stayed muted and watched the Zoom and wrote in where they came from in the chat and where they were calling in from. We had built like a wedding kit and asked people, you can dress up, you can decorate your living room, here's some songs you can play beforehand. Just kind of gave everyone like all these little bits and pieces to create a celebration.
Make it a whole experience.
And so we did the day. It turned out to be so much better than I think we could have ever planned it to be initially.
Fun.
There were parts there and there were times where it was very stressful to be managing all of the pieces that we had to manage, but I never felt worried about it. There was so much that was malleable and changeable and not up to us. You were always there, and that felt very centering, despite the lack of stability in every other way.
If you need a litmus test to see if your marriage was a good idea, I think literally spending all of your time with the person you just married for a whole year is maybe the best way to do that. And it's like, yeah, I don't have any concerns.
Mm-hmm.
And I like this a lot.
I feel safe
Yeah.
in a world that doesn't feel safe